yup. Oh, some bacon. Yup. He's a big pig. Yup. You can be a big pig too. Hey!
So I don't want to do anything new in this video. It's all the same stuff with the same data set, but I want to show you some alternative methods. These will be useful later on, and some students find them to be easier. So let me remind you what we did in the previous video. We read in the data, we looked at the plots, and then we took all this output here. And with that output, we turned it into one big long prediction equation right here, where we had the categorical effects like Panasonic listed in there. And then I went through and for each of the categories, we put in zeros or ones and simplified it so that when we were done, we had 6 different equations, each one with its own intercept and slope. Then using these prediction equations, I made some hats so that then I could plot it and make it look all pretty. For this video, I'm going to leave all that plotting that I did before there, but I'm going to grab this full equation here. And below, I'm going to show you a different way that I could have done the same thing. Here's my full prediction equation. Pages and make HP and Xerox are all here. And I'm going to simplify this a little bit by taking the word make out, since the R code left that in there so that you knew which categorical variable it was, but I don't feel like I need it. And I want this to be a little smaller. My goal is to make only one time hat equation instead of breaking this into 6. So here with pages, I'm going to make it pages hat and Epson hat and HP hat. So before I only had pages hat. It was a sequence that goes from 10 to 120. I'm looking right here on the graph to see about 10 to 120. Length, let's give it a lot of dots there to make my prediction line. But now pages hat isn't enough. I also have Epson hat showing up in my equation right here. Before, when we split this into different equations, we didn't have an Epson hat because we had an Epson equation and other equations when it wasn't Epson. So I'm going to say 0 because this is categorical, so it either gets a value of 0 or 1. And let's put in the rest of these hats. You'll notice that because there's 6 categories, I have 5 of these. What's missing? Canon hat, but Canon is the baseline. So if I have zeros on all of them, then I'm talking about Canon. If I put a 1 here, now I'm talking about Epson. If I put a 1 here, I'm talking about HP. If I put a 1 over here, I'm talking about Lexmark. What happens if I put 1 and 1 there? Well, you can't. That breaks the rule. You can't have more than one category turned on. This is Lexmark and Panasonic at the same time. That doesn't make sense. So you can only have one category with a value of 1, or none of the categories with a value of 1, in which case we're talking about the baseline. So let's see if I can recreate the same picture we did before. Notice I'm still using the messed up palette because that was in the last video. I was showing you how to do that. There's the picture of the dots. And as I go through here, I have a time, object, I missed something. HP hat is there. Oh, right here, HP hat. Okay, so there is my single time hat, and I can go give me the lines, time and pages. Because these are all 0, I am doing the Canon line, and Canon was red, so color that red, and there is my line. Great, that does Canon. What about the other groups? I don't have different prediction equations. It's just this one prediction equation. I'm going to grab everything, not the plot. I don't want to restart my plot. But now I'm going to turn on Epson. What color was Epson? It looks like green. So I'm going to change the color for Epson to be green and run all of these. And now I have a green line. What do I do next? I'm going to copy paste. This time I'm going to turn on HP. And I'll change this to be the correct color for HP. To get my blue line, paste again. The yellow line that doesn't really show up very well on the plot. Put a 1 on Panasonic. And the last one is Xerox, which I turn into a 1, and I can get the line. And then to do a legend, I'm going to simply copy paste the same legend command I used before, and there is the exact same picture. Now, what does this method have that's nice? There's only one prediction equation. Making that prediction equation didn't require a whole lot of thought. I simply said, here's this number and that number times whatever it's supposed to be. It's kind of automatic how you put this together. And then all I had to do is think about which of these terms am I turning on or off, draw the line, make sure I get the colors matched up right, and rely on copy and paste to make this look like it looks like a lot of code, but it's the same chunk of code used over and over. And this method can be nice when we get to the final project because instead of making multiple equations and keeping track of them, there's only one equation and you're just keeping track of the ones and zeros.